Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love. If you're listening to this on iTunes, please be sure to leave a review. This week, I would like to talk about closure. Now, the definition for closure or need for closure is a psychological term that describes an individual's desire for a firm answer to a question and an aversion toward ambiguity. The term need denotes a motivated tendency to seek out information. And the people who are most in need of closure are people who prefer order and predictability, are decisive and close-minded. So if you were to come to me and say, well, this relationship just ended and I need closure, I would say, why? Why do you need closure? And you would say, well, I want to know why they broke up with me. Did I do something wrong? That's usually the assumption, that you did something wrong and you want to make sure you don't repeat it in the future, or you want to see if you can repair it with that person. But here's the thing. What may be wrong to one person may be okay with another person. And I'll give you an example. When I was in my early 20s, I started dating someone, and I was still a virgin at that time. And when he found out that I was a virgin and we wouldn't be having sex, he was thrilled. He was so happy. He said, I can't believe I found a flower amongst the weeds. Wait till we tell our children how we met. On and on he went. However, fast forward years later, when I was dating someone and we were having sex, however, I felt that I wasn't a priority for this person, so I decided to cut the sex out. And so I wasn't having sex with this person, and he broke up with me. So as you can see, it's the same actions, but two different individuals, two different reasons. So in a way, it really doesn't matter what you did, because if someone has a high enough interest level in you, it won't matter. They'll try to work with it, they'll ignore it, they'll accept it, but they won't break up with you. So asking why and what you need to change and what you did wrong is really not going to be of help, because it may have been wrong with this person, but it doesn't mean it's going to be wrong with the next person. Unless, of course, you know that it was definitely something that you shouldn't have done, and I'm sure you know what it is. You'll feel guilt over it, you'll feel regret, and in that case then you need to apologize because you're truly sorry and not because you're looking for a certain outcome, such as getting back together. So you need to examine that yourself. But I'm saying, generally, it's not necessarily your actions that is the reason that someone breaks up with you. And so you say, well, then what is the reason? There's only one reason. And that's why it's useless to ask the person, why did you break up with me? Because they're not going to tell you the truth most of the time. They don't want to hurt you, or they don't want to hear your reasons as to why you behave that way, or they don't want you to try to get back with them by saying you'll change. But no matter what the reason is, the bottom line, it's always one reason, and that is they had a lowered interest rate. They were no longer attracted to you the same way they were when they were dating you. Their interest rate fell below 50%. If it goes below 50%, that's it. It's over. And if the interest rate is high, like in the 90s, then they will do anything for you, including try to help you get out of jail, as that recent story in the news. So it's all based on interest level and attraction. So it doesn't matter what you did or didn't do. The fact is, the reason that anyone ever breaks up with you always has to do with how interested and how attracted they are in you. And so your only job is to make sure that you keep the interest level high and keep the attraction high. And then it'll be a lot harder for someone to want to break up with you. So instead of thinking that you need closure, think of it as moving on. And the best way I find to do that is to spend time with family and friends, people who care about you, so that you can fill the void that you're now feeling since your ex is no longer in your life. And also keep in mind, in keeping with the theme of attraction, there's a quote that sums it up best, and that is, at your absolute best, you still won't be good enough for the wrong person. at your worst, you'll still be worth it to the right person. So in my next podcast, I will discuss about how to get back with an ex. But in the meantime, if you're looking for closure, hopefully this podcast will help. And if you need more help with this, I am available for private coaching. You can contact me at my website, theartoflove.net. And in the meantime, remember that love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.